What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have some breaking news about a third stimulus check coming from Congress. Joe Biden on Tuesday endorsed the House Democratic proposal to give $1,400 direct payments to everyone making $75,000 or less, and couples making $150,000 or less in the next stimulus bill.
Our bill that we anticipate will become law as soon as possible. The American Rescue Plan, put forth by President Biden as part of how we meet the needs of the American people. The pandemic and the economic crisis that go with it continues to be devastating to the American people. This legislation.
And also, folks, we have just hit 50,000 subscribers. I want to thank every single one of you for your amazing support. And now the great news is that I'll be announcing the winners tomorrow at 8 p.m. That's right, folks. On Friday, I'll be announcing several winners of the free $50 Amazon gift card. Now, folks, you can still enter to win my free Amazon gift card giveaway. All they have to do is subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, give this video a like, and leave me a comment down below. And also, everybody, be sure to check out my good friend Bailey David. She makes great stimulus check updates, and she is also doing an Amazon gift card giveaway for free. So be sure to check out Bailey's channel in the comments.
Point in the Great Recession. In his speech, he said, for recovery, fiscal policy is an essential tool for this situation. He referenced that monetary policy would not be enough. Chairman Powell played down the fears of inflation during the pandemic and noted that, in his words, inflation has been much lower and more stable over the past 3 decades than in earlier times, and that he did not expect it to accelerate in a sustained way coming out of the pandemic. As Chairman Powell said, given the number of people who have lost their jobs, the likelihood that some will struggle to find work in the post-pandemic economy, achieving and sustaining maximum employment will require more than supportive monetary policy. It will require a society-wide commitment.
There are ways to get through the bird rule thicket, but here's the big issue here. We know that when we get vaccinations, the economy is going to pick up. I think we'll see workers come back to the workforce. Their wages will be up. They deserve a wage that allows them to pay rent, buy groceries, pay for essentials. I support the proposal.
Even if you do get through the bird rule issues, how do you convince someone like Senator Manchin or maybe a few other moderate Democrats to support this?
Well, as the sponsors have said, this would be phased in. People have been wondering exactly how it would work. And some people said, well, we can't do it in 20 minutes. It's phased in.
Bottom line, do you think before we hit this unemployment benefit cliff in mid-March that we're going to see a bill on the president's desk?
Bottom line is anything else would be absolutely unacceptable. To have those workers in the middle of March, because the benefit runs out March 14th, fall into another economic abyss would just be wrong.
Jen Psaki said that talks were continuing on the scale of the payments and where they were cut off. These negotiations are ongoing, she said. We certainly support discussions as they're happening. And certainly his view is he's open to discussion about making them more targeted and ensuring that people who need relief the most receive the relief. Everybody tell me in the comments down below. Should Americans making over $75,000 a year receive a third stimulus check of $1,400? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. House committees this week are drafting the sections of the stimulus bill that fall under the jurisdiction as congressional Democrats make plans to pass the $1.9 trillion legislation through a process known as reconciliation. And that prevents a filibuster and allows them to enact a bill without Republican support. The House Ways and Means Committee on Wednesday will begin drafting its section of the stimulus bill, including the $1,400 direct payments, as well as an extension of temporary federal unemployment insurance benefits until August 29th of this year, and increase the extra weekly federal payment to $400 from $300. The proposal would cut off all stimulus payments for individuals earning more than $100,000 or couples earning more than $200,000.
And I'd also point out that I wrote the original unemployment package, which allowed for an extra $600 per week, covered the new workers, gig workers, the self-employed, independent contractors. And that was at a time when we had fewer virus cases than we do now.
I know we've talked before how you want to stop these cliffs. You want to avoid these unemployment cliffs that we keep seeing every few months. Do you think you're going to be able to get that done as Senate Finance Chair?
I was very pleased that at our urging, President Biden chose to make a specific note in his most recent economic statement when he was outlining the proposal that he wanted to get this done. He knows that it is absurd to just be plucking these arbitrary dates out of the air. Arbitrary, by the way, picked by Mitch McConnell, so that Mitch McConnell will have more leverage over the debates. And it's time to tie the benefit to economic conditions on the ground. And I've been talking to my Republican colleagues. They've said, look, Ron, we understand the need for a real benefit, the kind of benefit you're talking about when big numbers of folks are out of work. What's going to happen as the economy gets better? Well, under our proposal, the benefits then taper off.
I wanted to switch gears just a little bit to another issue that you're working on, and that's cannabis reform. You, along with Senator Booker and Leader Schumer, are working on this issue. Can you tell me what you hope to accomplish and where you stand on these discussions?
What we're trying to do is to end the failed federal policy on cannabis, and it starts with the prohibition.
Hence, the legislation that our members are working on this week. We hope to finish our markups in committee this week and then send it to the Budget Committee next week for them to work their will on it, then to the Rules Committee, and then to the floor. And we hope to have this all done by the end of February. Certainly on the President's desk in time to offset the March 14th deadline where some unemployment benefits will expire. I'm particularly interested in how women are affected by the pandemic, but also by this legislation. Over 2.3 million women have been forced to leave the workforce entirely, including 1 million moms. That's why this bill is so important, because
You can check the status of your application using your My Social Security account. And you also have the right to appeal any decision that the Social Security Administration makes about whether you're entitled to benefits. You must request an appeal in writing within 60 days of receiving their decision. Now, before applying, be ready to provide information about yourself, your medical condition, and your work.